Alright, so it's towards the end of April. The plane's annual inspection runs out on the 30th. So I'm taking a VFR flight up to Auburn. Clear day today. A little bit of clouds to the west. So some over the Oakland hills, over to the east. So I'm expecting, as usual, a pretty routine VFR flight. So I'm just going to do some of the transitional videos and anything interesting that happens to come up. Well, so much for a routine flight. Got a dead battery again. So what do? I'm going to pull out my Powerall starter and plug in the jumper prongs, which are here, into the starter and jump the plane. So what I have is the Powerall charger, the jumper. This is the plug to plug in to the plane so that it can be jumped. So here it is hooked up to the plane, and if you can hear, here's the tip tanks are running. So I got the plane chalked, tied down. So now I'm going to go ahead and go in there and start it, and hopefully it'll work. Well, lo and behold, the jump starter worked again. So that's another reason to take it into annual and find out why the batteries aren't keeping a charge. All right, let's see what the ATIS is here at Oakland today.
Oakland International Airport ATIS information kilo 00530. Wind 270 at 17. Visibility 10. Your clouds at 3000. Your clouds at 5000. 20,000 entered. Temperature 18, 2.9er. Altimeter 3017. ILS and visual approach. Runways 30 and 28 right. Flow control to Los Angeles. Contact clearance delivery for information. San Francisco out of service. Caution. Crane 75. All
right, I heard the rest of that, so that's fine. So the ATIS 270 at 17, which means that on 330 it's a 60-degree wind direction at 17, so you figure it's probably about 14 knots. This should be manageable. Let's call ground. And good afternoon, Twin Cessna 3318 Quebec, VFR request.
Twin Cessna 3318 Quebec, Oakland ground. Verify kilo and say your request.
20 Quebec, information kilo, Cessna Skyline 320 Slant India, new T's. Request runway 33 VFR Auburn today.
Twin Cessna 3318 Quebec, runway 33 taxi via Delta Juliet, stand by for squawk.
20 Quebec. All right, so they tell you to okay to taxi, then you can go to the taxi line. Otherwise, I was just hanging out over here on the tarmac, which is not part of the movement area of the airport, so that's okay. So they've been pretty fast on the squawk. I'm going to guess the squawk today 4567. 4567. Let's see what they give us. And I'll get a wind check also before we take off, just to make sure. And ground 1 Quebec, can you give me a wind check?
Twin Cessna 18 Quebec, wind is 27018, altimeter 3017.
1 Quebec, thanks. All right, so it hasn't changed since the ATIS. All right, well, there's when you think a flight is uneventful, there you got another dead battery. This is the second time in a couple months that's happened. Luckily, I had that 24-volt charger, and I haven't recharged it. And so it's jumped it 4 times now, you know, 2 engines twice. And so that has worked out very well. Thank you, Steve. Thank you very much.
And Twin Cessna 18 Quebec, I do have your squawk and VFR instructions when you're ready.
18 Quebec, I'm ready. I'm ready to copy.
At Twin Cessna 18 Quebec, maintain VFR at or below 2,500, squawk 4237.
4237 on the squawk and 2,500 on the altitude, 18 Quebec.
Okay, that's like a new guy. All right, so I'm going to do the checklist off camera, and then turn the camera back on when I'm ready to call the tower that we're good to go.
Ready for takeoff.
You say too, I can't see him yet. Is he right at Golf, or are you getting off, or is he over by Echo, or the other side of the runway?
He's to my left and trotting in that direction.
Thank you.
There's a fox on the runway on 28 right. That's what he was asking about vehicles. I'm looking down that way.
And Tower 18 Quebec, no joy on that fox.
Cessna 18 Quebec, thank you for that, sir. We'll just go ahead and call in the airport now if we can get somebody out there to take a look.
The fox
right.
is on taxiway hotel.
Hotel, thank you.
Oh, he made hotel. Okay, it's right up there. All right, checklist complete. Let's tell him where to go.
Tower, Twin Cessna 331 Quebec at 33, ready for takeoff.
Cessna 18 Quebec, wind 27014, gust 20. Traffic orbiting about 2 miles east of Oakland, low level, 700 feet of helicopter. Runway 33, clear for takeoff.
18 Quebec, clear for takeoff, 33.
All right, so time. Transponder on.
Tower 2 Mike Alpha, contact NorCal, approach 127.0.
Traffic.
127.0 to Mike Alpha.
Double check the DG. And fuel pumps on, full power. Everything's good, we're going. Looking for 100 on the airspeed. 80. 90. Okay, let's get it off the ground. It'll weather vane into the wind. Tap the brakes, pull up the gear. Hit a wind suck.
Traffic depart runway 33, be a northeastbound turn, Twin Cessna.
Yeah, it's blowing pretty good here. You can see whitecaps on the bay.
Twin Cessna 18 Quebec, the helicopter 1 o'clock and 2 miles, appear to be northbound at this time, 600 feet. Radar contacts to altitude.
18 Quebec, passing through 700 now, 18 Quebec.
All right, so I don't see the helicopter.
18 Quebec, no joy on the helicopter.
Twin Cessna 18 Quebec, you're now 400 feet above the helicopter at your 1 o'clock and 2 miles. He appears to be northeastbound.
18 Quebec, thanks.
All right, so he shouldn't be a problem. Now I'll go ahead, since I was expediting the climb for the helicopter. Now, when I was growing up...
Oakland Tower, Argus 2, have that traffic assigned, maintain visual.
Argus 2, thank you.
That's Argus 2, that's a police helicopter. When I was growing up in Oakland, the nickname for the police helicopter...
18 Quebec, the helicopter to your right has you in sight, no longer a factor. Contact NorCal 120.9, or we'll talk to them way back.
18 Quebec, 120.9, thanks, and full on.
So, just to finish that before I check in, when I was a kid growing up in Oakland, the police helicopter had a nickname of being called the Pork Chop.
93 Quebec, grateful, maintain full level 190.
Direct rate, Delta 190, Skywest 5993.
NorCal, good afternoon, Twin Cessna 331 Quebec. Checking in, restricted 2,500, just leaving 2,300.
331 Echo Quebec, NorCal approach, Roger, stay in position.
18 Quebec, just handed off from Oakland Tower here, level 2,500 over the Oakland Hills, eastbound for Auburn.
3318 Quebec, Roger, they gave you the wrong freak. Actually, 3318 Quebec, and what else are your questions?
18 Quebec, 3,500 in the Bravo should work today.
18 Quebec, Southern and Bravo airspace, 3,500.
18 Quebec, clear to Bravo, 3,500. Is it 270 the frequency I should be on?
Just stay here. I mean, they should have gave you that, but you can stay here.
18 Quebec, Roger, staying with you.
All right, so, wrong frequency, no big thing. So there's Mount Diablo. Let me point, we just played golf over there today at Lone Tree in Antioch. So there's a little bit of weather just over Mount Diablo. It's interesting look with the clouds right over the mountain. So I think some of the lifting action is causing those clouds. So All right, I'm leveling off here at 3,500, putting the nose towards Auburn. I'll check in with the camera in a little bit. Well, I'm in cruise now, 3,500, just over Moraga, Walnut Creek. I'm looking down at the 680-24 interchange at Walnut Creek. This is kind of a flyway area. Concord Airport is here at 10 o'clock. Livermore Airport is over there at 3 o'clock. There's a lot of transitioning traffic, so it pays to really pay attention. And when we were playing golf today, you could hear multiple planes in the Diablo practice area. Sounded like they were practicing stalls and maybe some crazy lazy eights and chandelles, but there were a lot of training activity going on there. So I mentioned that I'm taking the plane up for annual inspection. Flying it for Part 91, which is just recreational, the plane has to be inspected with a mandatory list of compliances annually. And I feel that it's very safe to be flying the plane just before an annual because everything has been working right. And I feel that it's the most dangerous time.
Number 1 Quebec, you're exiting the Bravo airspace, contact Travis approach 119 point enter.
1 Quebec going to Travis now, 19.9, thanks, and so on.
Yeah.
I'll continue that story in a quick second. Travis, good afternoon, Twin Cessna 331 Quebec, checking in here, 3,500.
Twin Cessna 331 Quebec, good afternoon, Travis approach, Travis altimeter 3011.
1 Quebec. So I feel the most dangerous time to fly a plane is right after annual. Now I have a terrific mechanic that works on the plane now, but in the past I've found a lot of things that have been done incorrectly during the annual.
Number 9162 Hotel Travis approach.
Tools left behind. Tools left behind in the engines. Cables not hooked up. Fuel injectors not tightened. Spark plugs not tightened. I got a whole long list of things. And the shop knows that after my annual inspection, you know, I ask them everything they did. I take a look at the engines and make sure the rigging is right, and that's when it's the worst time. And one of my personal rules is that no one flies with me for the first flight after an annual inspection. And I usually do a racetrack pattern above the airport just to make sure everything is working properly, no leaks. So that's the annual story. That's my story about the annuals. So I'm just crossing over Highway 4 now, Antioch. Like I said, we played golf over here at Lone Tree today. Nice day out. It's in this like 72 degrees here last week of April. So I'm going to pick up the camera when we get closer to Sacramento.
Contact NorCal approach 125.25. Have a good day.
125.25 now. Thanks, and so long. All right, so I just got the handoff to 125.25. NorCal, good afternoon, Twin Cessna 331 Quebec. Checking in, level 3,500.
Number 3318 Quebec, NorCal approach, Sacramento, altimeter 3010. How's it going?
Pretty good. How about you? 1 Quebec.
Excellent.
All right. Maybe you might be one of my fans. All right, so we're over this flooded area I talk about a lot. You can see the wind really blowing on it. Let's find out what the surface winds are at Sacramento Executive just for fun. 25.5s or 8s.
Sacramento Executive Information, Papa, a 0053 observation. Wind variable 3 knots, 10 miles visibility, sky conditions clear.
All right, that's pretty uneventful. It's, the wind is mainly in the valley and the bay. It hasn't worked its way up the other way.
The number 8821 Juliet, NorCal approach, Sacramento.
November 1 Quebec traffic, 12 o'clock, 5 miles northwestbound, 5,000 descending, Boeing 737.
1 Quebec, Kelly Hill on that traffic will maintain visual separation.
November 1 Quebec, roger, that's approved, caution wake turbulence, and at your discretion resume on navigation.
1 Quebec, roger. Okay, so there's a...
2001 traffic, off your left about 10 o'clock, 4 miles northeastbound, 3,500 Twin Cessna, they have you in sight.
There's a 737. Now, if I stay on this course, I could go...
The aircraft calling, told to stand by, say again.
I could go into the wake turbulence of the plane. So what I'm doing is turning towards it because the wake vortices come off the wingtips and they descend at about 500 feet a minute. So if I can be at their altitude or a little bit higher...
47 Foxtrot, NorCal, third squawk 0373.
Okay, so now I'm above the altitude of the 737 and there won't be any wing vortices to worry about. I am climbing a little bit just to make sure also. Wake turbulence could take a small plane and do some very big damage. Could even cause it to become uncontrollable and turn it upside down. And that would not be a very fun afternoon. Alright, so I'm making sure I'm past the path of the 737. I'm above his path.
2001, contact Capital Tower, 125.7.
So I'm going to go ahead and push the nose back down. I am past him and above him of where he was. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and push the nose back down and get back to our altitude. We haven't been assigned an altitude. It was, she gave us own nav since I saw the aircraft. Here's Sacramento Executive Airport in the windshield straight ahead. And we're 11 minutes out from landing Auburn. What is the big 27.4 now? Hold on. NorCal Twin Cessna 33, Winnie, Quebec, checking in, descending at 3,700.
The 331 Quebec, NorCal approach, good evening.
Okay, so that's the check on. We're over main Sacramento now. The main downtown Sacramento is right to our 2 o'clock. Pretty hazy out. Normally I'd fly over Folsom Lake. It's about 80% full now. I'll save that for another trip. So I'll pick it up. I'll pick the camera up ahead as we get closer to our approach in Auburn. Now we're 26 miles from Auburn. Let's see what their weather is.
Weather, wind, calm, visibility more than 10, sky conditions clear below 12,000 feet, temperature 15 Celsius, 2.6 Celsius, altimeter 3014 inches of mercury. Auburn Municipal Airport automated weather observation 0208 Zulu weather, wind 290 at 3 knots. Visibility more. Alright, so it's 290 at 3 knots. A second ago it was calm. So any wind that is coming is like the rest of the valley coming out of the north-northwest. So we're going to go ahead and set up for left traffic for runway 25. Well, I'm over Rockland now, 2,500. That's the pattern altitude. Sun's going behind the clouds, so might not have to land into the sun. Looking at Folsom Lake, very full. I'm expecting a termination by NorCal any second now, and I'll go to advisory frequency. Here at Auburn, it's 122.7. They share the frequency with a few other airports in the area. Orland, up north, Nut Tree, behind us, and South Lake Tahoe also. They're also using 122.7. So I've been cool.
706, 1700 for 9,000. South 706, NorCal departure. Good evening. You're ready to contact. Climb maintain flight level 190. Climb maintain flight 190, South 706.
So I'll start the...
876 has Lincoln inside. Terminate, please. Thanks for the help.
Sky 876, have a good night. Squawk VFR.
Good night. VFR frequency change. See it.
Alright, so I'll start the landing checklist. Gumps. Gas, turn the fuel pumps on, and put the selectors on main. I had them on auxiliaries. That's the first part. Then the next part will be undercarriage for the gear, mixtures, props, speed.
Roger. Descend, air correction. Let's maintain 5,000 just for a moment. Traffic 12 o'clock, 6 miles northbound, descending slowly at a 3,900. Skyline. Go for Gulf, 5,000.
So I'm going to remind him that I have Auburn Airport in sight. That'll give him the trigger to terminate me.
And when Quebec has the airport in sight.
1 Quebec, squawk VFR, frequency change approved, good night.
1 Quebec, thanks, and good night.
Alright, so that's, we're off of that. Now we're going to go to the common frequency.
Auburn traffic, Twin Cessna 33, Quebec, 7 miles on the 45 for left traffic, 25, Auburn, 2,500.
Alright, so let's see if anybody else is flying tonight. So we're waiting for our cylinder heads to get below 300 degrees. That's the magic number for reducing power abruptly and not shock cooling the cylinders. Alright, so far nobody yet.
Twin Cessna 16 Delta is right downwind, 20, net tree.
So there's somebody at net tree, that's behind us, we're going to ignore him. We're about a minute away from the downwind turn. I did notice on my auxiliaries, the right auxiliary was low by about 8 gallons. I think my little drain is leaking. I'm going to tell the mechanic about that for the annual. I didn't notice any blue marks on the ground of the hangar. Alright, so now we're getting ready to go into our pattern here. Our cylinder head temperatures are just about to 300. And we're at
16 Delta, right base, 20, net tree.
That's the net tree traffic. So we're at 2,500. Well, also, even though we heard the weather,
Band 10, sky condition.
so we're going to also check the windsock as we turn downwind.
Auburn traffic, Twin Cessna 1 Quebec, turning left downwind, runway 25, Auburn, full stop.
Alright, so we're still reducing power, waiting for flap speed, then gear speed.
16 Delta, turning final, runway 20, net tree.
Sky condition, clear below 12.
Alright, let's see here.
Auburn traffic, Twin Cessna 1 Quebec, downwind, left downwind, runway 25, Auburn, full stop.
Alright, so I'm taking a peek at the windsock and the tetrahedral, and it's favoring runway 25. So let's make sure.
Automated weather observation, 0217 Zulu, weather, wind calm.
Alright, now the wind's calm. Okay, so first notch of flaps, check. I'll put some props forward to get some loosen speed. Okay, gear speed. Undercarriage, putting the gear down, watching it come down in the window. Waiting for the green light, got the green light. Gas undercarriage mixtures, props.
Auburn traffic, Twin Cessna 1 Quebec, turning left base 25, Auburn, full stop.
Okay, there's my base turn. My speed is perfect, I have a blue line. And I'm just going to continue to final.
Auburn traffic, Twin Cessna 1 Quebec, continuing base to final now. 25, Auburn, full stop.
Alright, so there's my turn to final. Gas check, undercarriage got a green, mixtures up, props up. We're going full flaps here. There's the two VASIs, two white, which is a little high. Here comes the right one turning red. Alright, we're on short final.
And Auburn traffic, Twin Cessna 1 Quebec, short final, runway 25, Auburn, full stop.
Alright, so we're a little high, so I'm just going to let the plane kind of sink in. Keeping my speed up, add a little power. There's the VASI turning red. Alright, perfect speed for over the fence. And power into the flare. And a greaser. It's a downhill runway here in Auburn, so sometimes the runway starts to run away from you. Alright, I'll put the flaps up. Save the little brake pads, we'll go to the next one. Turn the fuel pumps off. And we'll announce clear. Auburn traffic, Twin Cessna, 1 Quebec, cleared of runway 25, Auburn, going to parking. All right, so that's the last flight before annual. Thanks for riding along.